Next on the Royal Blue Podcast, we go to our first overtime show ever. Episode 5, I'm Telling You Why We Lost, has got so much love and engagement that we had to continue the conversation. So what does that even mean? We are going to overtime. Hide your kids, hide your wives, and get the pickle juice ready because we are going into extra periods of play. Let's get it. This is the Royal Blue Podcast by the players, for the fans. I'm your host, Brian Logan. For all that don't know, the Royal Blue Podcast provides Cougar Nation with a weekly player's perspective look at all things Brigham Young football. And because we only have former football players on the show, you won't get any of that media talk here, just locker room talk. Oh, but did you know that locker room talk is all fan-driven? Yes, you, the fans, get to choose all the topics, questions, and conversations each and every show. All you have to do is go to our website, www.theroyalbluepodcast.com, and click on the subscribe button at the top of the page, and we will send you weekly surveys, questions, polls, all of that information in order to help fuel the conversation. And because we had so much positive feedback for episode 5, I'm Telling You Why We Lost, we wanted to continue that conversation surrounding all of those topics for that show.
I will never stop like a marathon in Boston. Don't get it confused, cause I never feel exhaustion. I will take your...
So without further ado, let's get to the first overtime show of episode 5 and get to the 25-yard line and bring in the sheriff himself, a.k.a. Deuce Hat, a.k.a. Spencer Hadley. Spencer, step up to the mic, introduce yourself to the fans.
How's it going, y'all? Hey, thanks for having me, Brian.
No problem, man. Give the fans, the ones that don't know you, I don't know, ones that wouldn't know you, maybe if they're like 11 years old.
Yeah, what the heck? What kind of fan wouldn't know me, man? I'm just playing.
Right. No, you don't got to play, man. It is what it is. You know, everybody knows who Max is. Everybody knows who you are, and Dennis, and all the stars, man. I'm only known, bro.
I wouldn't put my name in that conversation, bro. I wouldn't.
Hey, man.
Let's be real.
You know what? When I think about
you know how it is. Defensive guys never get the same love as offensive guys.
We don't, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like when I'm thinking about the top BYU defensive players, especially since I would say in the last 10 years or so. Your name is definitely coming up. It's came up multiple times, especially like just at BYU TV and what I've done in the broadcast industry. Your name always comes up, man. So you gotta give yourself credit, dude. And you know the thing is this: you gotta take advantage of the credit because, like you said, offensive players get a lot of love. But see, people only know me prior to like media and all this stuff because I'm black and I'm not Mormon, and they like. That's the only reason why.
Hey, real talk, though.
That's exactly, bro. I'm like, you don't know that I like still hold a record for like most pass breakups, and they're like, that's because you're short, and they just target you. I'm like, but I still hold a record.
Still broke the passes out.
Yeah. No balls caught on me. But no, man. So the fans that don't know you, talk about your the times you played and your position and what you did after BYU. And then, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So started in, I guess my first season was 2008. And that was the year of Max Hall, Austin Collie, Dennis Pitta, Harvey Young,
Yeah.
All those guys. We had a killer offense that year. We, when did we rise to 7th? That was a year after you left, right?
Well, when you were in 2008?
Yeah.
I came 2009.
Oh, that's right. You came after I went on my mission and then you came. That's right.
Yep. You and so Mike Elisa was on
right.
last show and same thing.
Yeah.
He came in 2008 and then went on his
That's
mission
right.
and then so it sucked, dude, because like playing in junior college you only get 2 years.
I know.
So I didn't get the ball out with y'all, but
I know that would have been fun, but.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was there 2008. We climbed to like 7th in the nation. Max was put on the Heisman watch, and then we got smashed by TCU. And then that was the year that we had a really bad showing up in Salt Lake.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good game.
Yeah.
And so I played that year, then went on a mission to California, came home, and I played the 11, 12, 13 season. So initially, I started off at BYU playing inside linebacker with Coach Tidwell. And then going into my junior year, we made a switch. I switched to outside backer, and so I played Sam opposite of Kyle for my junior season, and then in my senior season played a little bit of both, mostly outside.
Yep.
And finished in 2013 at BYU. Went to the Saints initially. I was out there for a couple months, and actually had a really good camp out there. And due to I guess it was pre-camp, but off-season workouts and stuff. And due to personnel issues, they needed to bring in more guys at other positions. I got cut, and so that was a real bummer. Spent a couple, 2 months training, staying in shape, staying ready for an opportunity, and got a phone call with the Raiders.
The Raiders. I'm a Niners fan, by the way, but
okay. Yeah. Well, we beat the Niners, so yeah. I'll hold on to that one.
I only you know what? That's the only game I really didn't care too much about, because I gotta, even though I didn't play with you. Yeah. I still got to root for, the Band of Brothers.
Oh, still Band of Brothers.
You know what I mean? So that's what I put my pride aside. I humbled myself, bro. I humbled myself like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ would teach, and what he taught and what he would want us to do. And so I did that for you, bro. For you, Spence. No problem.
I feel the love. It's real love. So, yeah, and then I ended up making the team. I was on the practice squad initially. I got brought up to the 53-man roster and played in a couple games, and went through the next year's off-season and camp and made it to the final cut and got cut. And shoot, man, then I got married.
Yep.
That's been awesome. She's so good to me. And
yeah, I know. We all know, bro.
We don't deserve the ones we get.
We don't.
It's the honest truth, and she's been amazing. And so, yeah, man, just living the married life now and working. I work for Edge Pest Control, actually, and we just did a sponsorship with BYU. We're one of the premier sponsors, and
nice.
We actually have our logo up in LaVell Edwards Stadium.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool. I kind of feel like even in the corporate world, it's like I'm coming back home.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Got a close relationship with BYU now, and it's awesome. So
good, man. It's good to always catch up and hear, and well, at least have the fans hear, that we are actually normal players and normal human beings, right?
Right.
We put our pants on just like you guys do, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Maybe not for some. I wear skinny jeans, so I don't know about you, Spence. So
yeah.
I struggle in them a little bit.
So you have to put the cocoa butter on.
Yeah.
Those jeans on.
That's right. I'm like, babe, you gotta help me out. You gotta help me out.
A little help. You gotta grab the right side. I'm gonna grab the left.
Wait. And then she goes, halfway through it, she goes, wait. These aren't mine, right? I'm like, oh, see, you always gotta stop with the jokes, babe, man. But yeah, dude, it's always good to for fans to kind of hear that and get the updates, man. They love us and we love them, and that's what this show is for. So happy to hear that you're doing good. Happy that you're jumping on with us. And dude, really, this show right here, it's the overtime show of episode 5, the last show with Mike Elisa, and there was so much engagement and so much love on social media, on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff. We had over 1,000 downloads in less than 24 hours. I don't know if that number's good, so don't judge me on that. But it's the most that we've had so far. So this thing is really
take it.
Right.
That's
exactly. So it's taken off, and I just wanted to really go into more conversation and talk to Mike, and Mike gave a good perspective on offense and defense. But you really went through a time where the offense struggled, right? And you played on one of the best defenses, I think, in the last 10, 15 years. You guys were nationally ranked. You guys had ballers. I mean, it seems like almost every one of you guys went to the NFL in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Even guys that were a little bit younger, like Alani Fua, who's with the Arizona Cardinals now.
Still
you know what I
killing
mean?
it. Yeah.
So even though you didn't have the older guys, tons of older guys that are going, but the entire defense, right, that contribute. made an impact at the next level. So one of the biggest topics is how, as a defensive player, how do you continue to play the game, wake up every day, and go to practice when your offense is struggling?
Yeah, that's a great question. And shoot, I don't know. Like the honest answer is like, dude, I don't know. I don't know how we did it. I think if I had to attribute it to something, I'll be honest and attribute it to Coach Mendenhall.
Okay.
I mean, you know what practices were like with him.
Yep.
And you know what it was like, dude. It didn't matter. Man, practice was a grind every day. It didn't matter if it was your bye week. It didn't matter if it was an easy game, a hard game. Practice was a grind, and you know the drills, especially pursuits. Everybody who played with Coach Mendenhall remembers pursuits.
Pursuits sucks.
For those of you who don't know what a pursuit is, just imagine running in hell forever
with no water.
And that's what pursuits are. So you really just you just accepted the fact that, hey, man, this is going to be hard. I'm going to do this, and I'm probably going to do this forever. And so let's just do it. And I kind of, I don't know, I attributed that no quit mentality that we had to going back to those practices that we had with Coach Mendenhall. And in season, off season, we were always training that attitude, like the warrior mentality, Viking mentality, you know, and fighting for everything. We had, well, you remember every blade of grass, right?
Yep.
You fought for every blade of grass, and it just didn't matter. I think we got to a place too where we just accepted the fact that we're in a bad situation. Our offense is running hurry up. They aren't moving the ball, which means we've got 2-3 minutes to catch our breath, and we're going back out there. A lot of us were on punt team to punt the ball and then run a defensive series, and a lot of times there were situations where it turned the ball over and put us in bad field position and this and that, and I don't know. I think we had the right group of guys. Now, I don't think that we were the most talented group of guys ever. But we were the right group of guys that had the mentality that I don't care what situation you put me in. They don't have to score.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that Coach Mendenhall said to us in that game, 2012, when we played Boise State at Boise. And
how you guys lost by not giving up points? How's that?
We didn't give up a point and we lost. I don't know how that happens to this day.
Right? That's like history right there. How do you not, offense, you single-handedly lost this game. You bunch of bums. You jerks.
Yes, their defense outscored you. I love Mike. Mike's my boy, but fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line. We gave him the ball and we call timeout, and we come to the sideline, and Coach Mendenhall said, I don't care where they have the ball. They don't have to score. Mm-hmm. And I remember he said that, and I was like, they don't have to score. Ooh. They're not going to score. You know what I mean? And we went out there, and the 4 plays in a row, we stopped them. And I think that series, that's one of my favorite memories of football ever.
Yeah.
In my career was those force plays and the feeling that came afterward. But I think that those 4 plays kind of embodies the mentality, the attitude, the mindset that we had, that you have to have in a situation like that where you don't have an offense that's producing. You have to understand you're going to be in a bad situation time and time again, and they're not going to put up points, but it doesn't matter because the other team doesn't have to score. And that's, I don't know. That's just the way we approached it. We almost loved it. We almost thrived when the offense would put us in a bad situation or a bad position and turn the ball over deep in our own territory. Because then it's like, okay, now we get it. It's another challenge.
Right,
let's see if we can beat this one.
Right.
Let's see if we can take this challenge and run with it. And I don't know. You almost got to a point where you didn't really care anymore about wins or losses. It was like, dude, let's just dominate this drive because we're in a terrible situation. Let's see if we can overcome it. And it was fun. I don't know. We just enjoyed it. We learned to enjoy the grind.
You gave me goosebumps, man. Like Mike gave me goosebumps last show too, dude. It's always fun to kind of hear the different perspectives and the different stories, man. And I think that everybody's situation and every year is different, bro. Because
Sure.
in 2010, with Jake Heaps coming in, young freshman off of the yellow bus, just
Right.
getting done from prom, and then Riley, got hurt, so we didn't really have that quarterback controversy towards the end of the season. But with us, we only had 4 seniors returning starters, 7 seniors total on that team, on that defense. No! Wait! Scratch that. On that entire team, our poster, bro, our poster was like 3 people, and compared to everybody else is like 20. It's like we can't fit everybody in here. Like
Your poster was a postcard.
yeah, no, really, it literally was. Like, are these individuals, or why is there people? Where's the rest of the guys at? That's how bad it was, bro. And because everybody had like this, there's like this vibe of like, oh, woe is me type of a deal. Coach Mendenhall did a good job, and the defensive coaches did a good job of saying, you have another opportunity to play. Think
Right.
about all those kids that want to be in your situation, and then think about all those kids that just want to play Division I football,
Right.
or just football, period, that aren't. And they're at home playing, college football on Xbox or whatever. And that right there, dude, changed my whole perspective of, man, I've grinded for 2 years, ate top ramen, and had to drive, hours, stay in traffic hours just to get seen and visible and get a scholarship to D1. And yeah, I'm gonna be grateful. I'm gonna take the opportunity. And it wasn't that didn't motivate us, man. What you said was, rise to the challenge. Let's go have fun. Let's see what we can do. With us, it was like, dude, we're on scholarship. We don't ever gotta play. We don't gotta pay for nothing. We don't gotta get a job. We don't gotta do anything. We have counselors that do our homework. That help us with our homework. Yeah, yay.
I was gonna say I didn't have any of those counselors.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I wish I did though. But yeah, man. I think the coaches, Coach Kalani has to find a way just to identify, obviously, the type of players he has, and then what message he needs to bring to them. But another question that the fans really wanted us to answer was, well, actually, hold on, let me stop real fast, because I gotta do. This is something, bro, that has been on my heart for so long, and you just brought it up. I still think to this very day that the Boise State stand by you guys was great, perfect, but the Oklahoma stand, where I think we went 7 plays, dude. I think it was 7 plays, the goal line stand, or maybe 8 plays,
Mm-hmm.
because so we went. It was up to 3 on 3rd down, and I'm ashamed, but I'm proud at the same time. I got a PI, and you go back, you watch the film, and all the announcers like, oh, that wasn't PI, blah blah. So great. I'm happy that I was able to extend it, because they then tried 4 more in a row, and we stopped them. So to
seriously?
me, 8 in a row, bro, it just has to just be better than, or 7 in a row has to be better than Boise's, right?
I'm gonna go for no comment because I was on my mission, so I didn't even see that game. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, most people don't, because I think the overall win.
So wasn't that cool?
Well, see, here you go. Here you go.
I'm playing.
The overall win, bro, like took some of the
Took away from the
Well, took away from a lot of moments, dude. There was a lot of moments.
That makes sense, because dude, if you look back at the Boise State game, there just aren't very many good moments.
Yeah, no.
When you think back on that game, that's the only moment you can really think of as a highlight, because everything else was a struggle, dude.
Yeah, that's so true, man. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna send a poll out once we launch the show, and we'll
And see which which goal line stand was better.
Yes, we'll do it. We'll do it. So the next question, man, that the fans want to ask, we talked about this with Mike, is what goes on in your mind as a player, and even more so on the defensive side, when there is a quarterback controversy. How do you guys defensively, really tackle that? Do you guys talk about it, amongst each other, or do the defensive coaches say anything?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as players, you talk about it, and it's hard though. It's hard, dude. And what people don't understand is that as a defensive player, you're not in the conversation on the offensive side of the ball as much as you would think. Like, it really. I think a head coach's responsibility to take those two, the defense and the offense, and bring them together and create unity. Mm-hmm. Is a huge challenge and a huge responsibility because, I mean, as you know, 90% of the practice, we're not around the offensive guys, you know, so we're not seeing who's making throws and who's not making throws, and we're not seeing who's reading plays other than what you see in maybe a scrimmage or on Saturday or like 7-on-7. But 7-on-7, I don't really even count that.
Right.
Because it's just so unrealistic. It's not real. It's not real. It's not, and I don't even think you get a good sense of how good a quarterback can be in a 7-on-7 situation because they got all day long.
No line of scrimmage.
No line of scrimmage.
All day long.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, in 7-on-7, half of the checkdowns that they throw would have gone through the middle of the numbers of their offensive tackle.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm like, bro, that hits the back of the lineman's head, you doof.
That's my point.
Gosh.
Yeah, so 7-on-7 doesn't count, and we see that, but outside of that, we don't see very much. And so it's really hard as a defensive player to say which guy is better.
Right.
You can have your opinion, you can have an idea, but you don't have all the information. And then on top of that, it's hard because, I mean, they're both your teammates, and you like both guys.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to put myself, like, if I was in the locker room today, and I'm thinking, man, you know, honestly, Taysom's only really put together, in my mind, 4 good drives this season. Mm-hmm. He had a great drive to end the game against Arizona.
Yep.
2 good drives against Utah. Yep. 1 in the middle of the game and 1 at the end. Mm-hmm. And then another really good drive against UCLA at the end of the game. And I think how much of that can you fault Taysom for? Talking specifically about this last game, I feel like our offensive line has struggled. Yep. They've struggled consistently in these 3 games. Mm-hmm. And then also our receivers, a lot of times, you know, people want to cast blame at the quarterback, but dude, sometimes your receivers just aren't open.
Preach.
And then there were times, most of the time in that UCLA game, their corners, their DBs did a great job. We struggled to get off the man press.
Preach.
And so you can't necessarily, well, I mean, when a guy's, like, for instance, dude, I got so fired up in this UCLA game. I feel half bad because I started yelling at some people around me. I can't go to games, man. I hate sitting in the stands. I can't do it.
I know.
It drives me nuts. There were a lot of people that booed Taysom on that screenplay when he threw it at Jamal's feet.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm sitting there like, what do you want the man to do?
Right.
They sniffed it out like a pack of hounds. Mm-hmm. They were all over him.
That's true.
You throw the ball to Jamal, he's going to get blown up.
Yep.
So he threw it into the ground to live to fight another play.
Or he catches it and it's a 5, maybe 7-yard loss because usually you're that far back when you're catching the screen as a running back.
Yeah, exactly. Great point. So he throws it into the ground, which was the right decision because no one was open, and he gets booed. And then what happens the next play? He hits Moroni in a crossing route for a first down. Everybody's cheering.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I bet all of you want to take those boos back now. Like, that's exactly why he did it. And I think a lot of times we fault the quarterback for not throwing the ball, but the guy wasn't open. Right. He didn't really have anywhere to throw. Now, that in the same breath, I've got to mention, like, yes, there are times where Taysom's missing open guys.
Right.
And there are times where he's struggling to move the ball, and some of it's on him, some of it's not. But I'm trying to put myself in that locker room and, like, man, what would I be thinking? I think at this point, and I love Taysom. Taysom's a teammate of mine, and I've gone to war with Taysom, and I love that guy. Mm-hmm. But I think, there does come a point where I think I also love Tanner.
Yeah.
Tanner's a really good friend, and Tanner roomed with my younger brother my junior year when he was gray shirting, and he and Matt were roommates, and they're really close. And so, I've known Tanner really well over the last couple of years, and gotten to know him really well. And so it's hard because, Tanner's out there last season as a freshman, 2 months off his mission, man.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize the guy set freshman records being home 2 months.
Right.
Like, we haven't even seen him, like, in shape, healthy, ready to go.
No, he can't even do crunches yet because his abs are gone.
So we haven't even seen him at his peak, and so, and he did a great job.
Yep.
He was phenomenal.
Right.
And so it's at some point, it would be one thing if you're like, okay, Taysom's our starter, he's our guy, and the coach has made that decision, and I'm a fan now, right? I'm a spectator. I accept that. Right. So Taysom is our quarterback. Taysom's my guy. Let's go. Let's see what happens. But there does come a point if the production is low enough. It's not like our backup guy is this unproven underclassman who, doesn't know how to do a load of laundry yet and doesn't know how to boil water to make macaroni and cheese. Like,
right, he's a grown man, dog. I'm a grown man.
He's proven himself. He is exactly. He's battle tested. He's proven.
Yep.
And so at some point you got to respect Tanner enough to say, like, Taysom, this isn't your game. That you don't. I'm not saying bench the guy, but I'm saying we're gonna give Tanner a shot, see if he makes a difference.
Yeah.
I think
Mike Elisa said that last show. He said, but I would do it. I would give Tanner reps, and I would do it in a more political way where I'm not saying, oh, I'm benching you, Taysom, and Tanner's now the guy. Taysom, you still are the guy.
Right.
But, I want to see what Tanner can do.
Exactly.
And so what I'm going to do is just give him, maybe 2 to 3 series here or there the entire game. And what's going to happen is that's going to allow us as the coaching staff to really kind of see what he can do. And if we need to make that change, then great. And I think, and this is something I didn't say with Mike, not only did I think that was a brilliant idea to help with, the chemistry and things like that, but it also does another thing, which is it kind of puts that spark in Taysom's belly, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, he may feel comfortable and say, okay, yeah, I understand why the coaches are doing this. However, at the end of the day, I'm a competitor and I don't want to lose. I don't even want Tanner to have 3 series or 1 series because I want to ball out. So I'm going to step my game up in whatever way form I can.
Right. No, I agree 100%. And that was my point is you don't say, Taysom, you're out, Tanner, you're in. Like, it's not an official change, but yeah, you say, look, this isn't your game, man. You're struggling. We're not moving the ball. It's, we're halfway through the third quarter and we have 7 points. Right. Our defense is killing it.
Murder.
Right. And we got to do something different. So we're gonna go with Tanner for a couple series and see if there's a difference. Yeah. And if there's a difference, then we'll go from there. But for now, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yep. Lil Wayne said that. Yep.
Yeah. I think someone said it before Lil Wayne, but the point is, I think. Yeah, but it's tough. It is tough because, then you run the risk of, man, do you damage Taysom's confidence? But I think I agree with you that I think Taysom is a team player. Yeah. He understands. I think he would understand what's happening, and he would think that it's fair. But I do also think that, like you said, that guy is a competitor. Yeah. Like very few others that I've known, and he would do everything in his power to take it back, and which is what you would want.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what you'd want from those guys. So I don't know. I don't know. I do think
it's tough, man. It's tough. It's
like I'm sitting here trying to say what I would do, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's kind of like that gray area, and I mean, and this is what I want fans to hear because. As former players, putting ourselves in the locker room and then putting ourselves in Kalani's shoes, we've all been there, done that. And we may not have been coaches, but we understand what coaches go through. And we also understand that players like Kalani, like us, that are now coaches, it's the same thing. And so you can almost say with what we're going through right now, just from discussing what we would do, how we should do it, the right answer, the proper way to go about it, we don't know. So, I mean, imagine what these guys, are going through. And, granted, they got a little bit more data and a little bit more film and things like that. We're just...
Which doesn't always make the decision easier, though.
No, it makes it way harder because
you have so much more to discuss and so much more to take into account. So, like, we can sit here and go, yeah, well, they're not moving the ball and they're not scoring points, so get him out of there and get someone else in. It's like... Dude, that's not even half the story.
Not even a fraction.
It's not even close to the amount of information that you need to make that decision. So, but then again, at the same time, it more information doesn't,
Nope.
It helps make a decision, but at the same time, it makes it harder.
It definitely does, man. Spence, dude, I appreciate you for hopping on, man, and jumping on and providing, the fans with some more locker room talk for this overtime show is what I'm calling it for episode 5 since we got so much love. But
I like it.
This man, I'm literally getting butterflies, not because I'm looking at your handsome face, but because it's fun to come back and talk to former players and obviously alumni, and just to really put ourselves back into that locker room with what's going on right now. It's so fun, dude. I wish I could do this 100% full time and have all of you guys with me. I didn't even go to work today, dude. I just, I said no to the man, So
that's nice.
I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you for hopping on.
Oh, you bet, man. Thanks for having me. It's a good time.
All right, we'll have you on soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
It's 4 inches and I'm going right at them. Keep me from getting money, I won't let them. No matter they size, I'm getting by. Put the pedal to the metal. I bust right through. All that's left is the rebel. All I see is
That's the end of our overtime show. Big thanks to all the fans that have supported us so far. And to Rocco's Big City Deli for keeping our bellies full while we produce these shows. Rocco's Big City Deli, downtown Provo, subterranean sub shop for over 25 years, located at 18 North University Avenue, across from the new temple. Go and talk to CJ and Veronica. They have amazing food. They've been feeding me and my family ever since I've been here in Provo in 2009. So blessed to have them sponsor our show and provide all of us with food. So that will wrap up the first ever overtime show on the Royal Blue Podcast. We'll be back next week to break down the West Virginia game. And, of course, as we exit this show, we'll continue with our tradition. And maybe Alan can help me out with this. And that's another Cougar first down! Maybe we should get like a real cougar sound.